Hi dentist, how are you? This is Muhammad Musa from AFK Study Plan. Welcome to our fourth weekly newsletter. I think this is going to be a habit. Weekly we do it. For dentists don't know about it, so we post a question every day in our community and then we solve it. By the end of the week, we collect the questions, give you the answer. More importantly, give you the concept about it so you can cover the topic and see your weak point while you're studying and modify your study plan. With that being said, let's get deep into it. First, from ortho, the SMB angle in adolescent will generally. So this question is asking you about an angle, and he giving you the short term for it, asking if it increase or decrease or stay constant. So I see a pattern with questions. With short questions, it's either very easy or either very hard because like when you have short question, you don't have much information. So if you know it, it will be easier for you. If you don't know it and you need more information to reveal which part or which topic he is aiming at, it will be hard for you. But this one, before we answer it, let's think about what is SMB. So SMB is an angle. You can trace it in cephalometric analysis. This angle is connecting between sella turcica and nasion and the mandible, B point. So it's called SMB. This angle represent the relationship or the relative relationship between the mandible and the base of the skull, and you are using nasium to be like a medium between them, so you get the angle because you want to get the relationship between this one, Salaterska, base of the skull, and the mandible. So you need third point to reach an angle so you can trace it. So it's an angle between SM plane and the line joining anisium to the point B, and point B here in the mandible. The angle indicates the anteroposterior positioning of the mandible in relation to the cranial base. And what's the significance of this angle? So this angle, the mean of this angle is 80 degree. Should I memorize the numbers? Yes, I'm sorry to say that. They said no, you shouldn't. But recently they give some question giving you numbers and asking you what do you think about this number. So sadly, you should know the numbers. You should know the average, +2, +5. You should know this stuff. I think if you study ortho, you will see the numbers. I would like you to memorize the number. So increased angle indicate prognathic mandible. So if it's more than 80, and the average here would be +2, I think, yeah. If it's up to 82, then we're normal range. 83, 84, so you say it's a prognathic mandible. And the other way, decreased angle indicate retrographic mandible, less than 80, as I said, by 2. So up till 78, 77 and beneath that, so you can say for sure it's retrographic mandible. And as we discussed this, let's speak about the mandible itself. So the research has shown that the jaw grows during adolescence by moving forward with the mandible growing more. So the mandible is growing more than the maxilla, longer than the maxilla, which is more expressed in males. The occurrence of late mandibular incisor crowding is related to a certain extent to the amount of sagittal jaw growth. So they did a study about the differential growth between maxilla and mandible, and to cut it short for you, they found the maxilla is following the cranial base development, which will have most of its development up till the early mixed dentition. But for the mandible will grow for sure up till early mixed dentition. But they found the mandible has a late growth spurt. This one starting at the end of the late mixed dentition with the eruption of the lower permanent second molar. So they found the mandible is growing more than the maxilla, and they found the mandible is growing later than the maxilla. That's why we can conclude the SMB will increase in adolescence. And with that being said, let's discuss about the other angle. So SNA, same concept, but it's discussing about the maxilla. The angle formed by the intersection of SM plane and the line joining the nasium and point A. Point A in maxilla, point B in mandible. This angle indicates the anteroposterior positioning of the maxilla in relation to the cranial base. Increased angle more than 82 will mean prognathic maxilla. Decreased less than 82 would mean retrognathic maxilla. And as we said, the average is 2. If you have 2, okay. If you have more than 2, it's not okay. So, and last, we can speak about an angle which is called AMB. AMB is getting the A point maxilla, B point from mandible, and getting the nasium to get this angle. This angle is formed by intersection of the line joining nasium to the point A and N to the point B. So 1, 2, 3. It denotes the relative position of maxilla to the mandible to each other. So now we are going to compare the maxilla and mandible to each other. So what's the significance of this angle? This angle, if we have prognostic maxilla, if you have retrognostic mandible, so we should get A and B. Why? To get the relative relationship between the maxilla and mandible. What does this mean? This means like sometimes patient has the both arch is prognostic or both arch retrognostic, so his facial profile will have a different criteria. But if one arch is in wrong relationship like prognostic and the other one in normal, it will have different criteria in our patient facial profile and in our treatment for sure. So we should get this number so we can put the pieces together to say, okay, this patient has prognostic mandible, normal maxilla, and this patient has NMB, which is a normal. So the relative relationship between maxilla and mandible is good or not good. So we need to go more in depth for treatment. An increased angle indicate class 2 skeletal pattern. A decreased angle indicate class 3 skeletal pattern. As you can see, if it's more than 4, meaning this angle is more than 4, like it's a wide angle, so meaning the mandible is going backward, meaning this patient has a skeletal class 2. And if it's decreased, meaning this angle is getting very close to N to the point A, so meaning this patient has a class 3 skeletal pattern. So I would like you to understand the concept, not like getting the answer. That's why I'm trying to explain the concept and how we think about these numbers. I know for dentists, we hate numbers, but like you should deal with it. So, and last thing is occlusal plane angle. It's like they say, okay, let's get this plane and the other plane and check it. This plane is important and I will let you know why it's important now. It's formed between the occlusal plane and SM plane. The occlusal plane is represented by a line passing through the overlapping cusp of the first premolars and molars. This line indicate this one, and we're getting to check this line indicating to this line. So if the angle is decreased, meaning anti-clockwise upward rotation of the occlusal plane. And I would like you to think about it in a way, and then you can memorize it because it's important. When this angle, like imagine this angle here, when this angle is decreased, meaning the mandible is going upward, anti-clockwise, upward and anti-clockwise. What this reflect in the patient profile, this, as you can see, the patient profile will have short lower third of the face. So this patient will have short face. So you might see the question like giving you patient has short face. The question will maybe say the mandible is moving upward or rotation anti-clockwise. So now you understand when I see this words, because sometimes the question have sophisticated words. So this means this patient has decreased lower face height, this patient has short face, and the other way around. Increased angle, meaning like clockwise downward rotation of the occlusal plane, meaning this patient will have long lower face height. Why we should pay attention to this? Because this criteria will guide you to treatment plan. Most commonly, you will have question about treatment plan and giving you this weird names or weird description of the mandible going upward, going downward, and you confused about it. So that's why I would recommend you to study with picture, because I see most notes was like wording with no picture. I would recommend you to get a picture beside the wording so you can correlate them in your mind, and it will be easy for you. You will never forget this one. I would like you to take a look here, read the word out loud. It will be easy for you. You will never forget it. And then mandibular brain, as we said about it, like this is the one, it's have increased, it will be vertical growth. If it's decreased, will be horizontal growth. The first one would indicate the vertical growth, and this one would indicate the horizontal growth. Sorry, this one indicate the vertical growth, like this one is the angle here, increase, and when it decrease, the previous picture indicate horizontal growth. So you can combine this wording together to get to conclusion how you can answer the question, because sometimes giving you the question and saying we give our patient a functional appliance. So this functional appliance will do the mandible to go clockwise or anti-clockwise. So you think about it, you read the question, get to decide which patient which profile this patient have, and then you can think, okay, this function applies with 3 class 2, so we'll can go to the mandible, and then you're gonna check the long face height. So it's a multifactorial decision, but when you don't understand the name or you don't understand the description, it will be very hard to get a conclusion. So for this question, SNP will increase. And for this question, if we speak about SNA, it will, you can stay in adolescence, it stays the same. If we speak about SNA in early mixed dentition, it will increase. SNP in early mixed dentition, it will increase both. It will never decrease. Okay, question from anatomy. The most acceptable etiology of a bifid uvula is, again, if you don't know the bifid uvula, if you don't know about uvula, so it will be very hard for you to come to conclusion. So before we reading the option, let's see what's uvula first, then you can think about it. So uvula is the last part of the soft palate. So you are going in, this is the hard palate, and you go back, this is a soft palate. The difference between them, soft palate is movable and soft palate has some muscle, hard palate is not. And then the last part of our soft palate is the uvula. And the soft palate, how the soft palate come to be formed during the embryology. So it happened to come from the fusion between process. Let me give you another picture so you can think about it. So it happened to come because of the horizontal fusion between the palatoglossal fold from the right side and the left side, and it started from anterior, from the hard palate, going backward till the soft palate till the uvula. I think with that being said, I think you can conclude the answer now. So what happens leading to this one, leading to this bifid uvula? So when the fusion coming from the anterior, as we said, going to the posterior, the cell here organized and keratinized medial epithelium in the hard palate. When it goes and have some residual part staying in the back part of the soft palate, leading to this one. So when this stay between the two palatal horizontal fold, we speak about it, it will prevent the two folds to fuse together. When as they are not fusing together, so it will lead to this pattern. It will be a bifid uvula. So uvula is the last part of our soft palate, and as you know, the fusion is coming like Y pattern for the anterior maxilla, and then going backward, it will go to the hard palate and then go to soft palate. And as we see, the epithelium is going backward, backward, backward. If this epithelium is staying here and preventing the two palatal fold to fuse together, so it will lead to this one. It will be disorganized, poorly keratinized medial soft palatal epithelium, leading to preventing the fusion between the two horizontal palatal folds. So here the answer is failure of fusion of the posterior palatine folds. Let's see the other answer. Failure of fusion of the longitudinal fissure. Longitudinal is in the vertical position. It will not lead to bifid uvula. As we see, uvula is in horizontal plane. Failure of fusion of maxillary and nasal process, and this one is far anterior. If this happens, it will lead to, I hope you get it. I will give you 1 second. Yes, cleft lip. And none of the above, no, because like first one is the correct one. So maxillary and nasal processes is the one leading to failure of fusion, leading to the cleft lip, and then longitudinal is a vertical plane, and this one is leading to this one. So I give you 2 questions because I know some people think, oh, you getting very long question, clinical question. No, the short question, trust me, short question is much harder. Third question from management. I cannot do newsletter without management question. I tried, but like management is the best. A patient is currently taking tricyclic antidepressant. When using local anesthetic, a possible outcome may include, and again, the same theme for this newsletter, you should know this one. What's tricyclic antidepressant? To be short, they say TCA. Let's see the option. Increased blood pressure due to epinephrine, decreased blood pressure due to epinephrine. I think this one you can throw it in the garbage. It's not even adding up. Decreased sympathomimetic effects, no effect on the cardiovascular system. So this one go to garbage. So we speak about this one or this one. So first, before we speak about it, let's see what's the TCA. So TCA is an antidepressant drug category using to treat patient with depression. So this category is important. I would like you to understand it, read about it. I know the names are honestly stupid. It's very hard to remember, but like I would recommend you at least to know 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You cannot memorize all this. Okay, so to cut it short, antidepressant drug, they have 4 categories: TCA and monoamine oxide inhibitor, which is MAOs, and then selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, SSRA, and serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor, SNRA. RI. And then as you can go from here till here, so I think you know this is the newer generation. Newer generation meaning like it's more selective, which means less side effect. And for sure, this one was the main type, so it has more side effect. But before we think about it, the more side effect or less side effect, let's think about it how it works. So TCA are group of medication that carry the name of tricyclic because they have 3-ring structure. I don't think this is important for us. Tertiary amine, whatever, and then they noted. It should be noted that amitriptyline, which is the main drug in this category, is converted to noramitriptyline, and imimebrin is converted to diazepam, such that these are serotonergic. TCA also have significant norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor. So the mode of action of these drugs is going to be metabolized, and then it will lead to significant norepinephrine reuptake inhibition. Meaning, like, think about it, the synapse, it has norepinephrine, and the synapse is working, norepinephrine is done, so it's reuptake. Meaning, norepinephrine is not active anymore. This one will inhibit this action significantly, leading to inhibition for this action, affect by virtue of this metabolism. So they affect the metabolism of this one. There is a latent period of 2 to 4 weeks before therapeutic antidepressant effect become manifest. And then he speak more about this one, but I would like you to understand how does it work. So this one will lead to significant inhibition of free uptake. What does this mean for our patient? Meaning the epinephrine or norepinephrine will stay more in this area, will stay more in the synapse, going to the bloodstream. When this one go to the bloodstream, what do you think it will do? So it will affect our blood pressure, it will affect our vascular constriction of our vessels, so it will lead to increased blood pressure, it will lead to a tachycardia. And let me explain this visual because this is amazing. So this one is giving different color for every receptor and everyone. So we're gonna speak about today about this one and this one. So tricyclic antidepressant is a blocker. It will block 3 receptors. It will block adrenergic receptor, it will block histamine receptor, and it will block muscarinic anticholinesterase receptor. So these 3 receptors are blocked. So think about it, the receptors are blocked and there is norepinephrine is circulating here. So norepinephrine will be more, histamine will be blocked. So here the more of this mediator will be more in your bloodstream, more in your body, leading to more side effect. And as you see, when you go with the antidepressant drugs, they lead to make it selective. They tend to make it selective, so leading to less side effect up till they come to this one or come to this one and leaving this one to be open, so leading to less accumulation of norepinephrine, which will mean less side effect for our patient. I would like to explain it to you so you can think about it and understand it. And the bottom line here, the most common adverse effect of TCA include anticholinergic, CNS, and cardiovascular effect. And I think now we can understand the 3 words because it's blocking 3 different receptors in 3 different levels. So it will lead to cardiovascular effect and CNS effect, and CNS effect because of histamine, cardiovascular effect because of the norepinephrine or epinephrine, and anticholinergic because it's blocking the muscarinic receptors. Anticholinergic effect occur because of the drug antagonism of muscarinic cholinergic receptors, causing what? Blurry vision, constipation, tachycardia, urinary retention, and xerostomia. This diazepam, this is the name of our drugs, has the lowest reported occurrence of this adverse drug reaction, and amitriptyline has the highest. And as a theme in the pharma guideline, when you see family treat one condition, you think about it this way: the first generation will have the most side effect and the most common percentage of side effect for our patient. And as you go more in the timeline for the medication, you will see it's more selective and less side effect. Concomitant administration of centrally acting anticholinergic medication may result in positive perioperative delirium, meaning not like just blurry vision or stuff. It meaning delirium, meaning like more mentally effect, especially in the elderly patient. Centrally acting anticholinergic medications such as scopolamine and to a lesser extent atropine are more likely to increase the risk of postoperative delirium than the other medication. As we said, like two medication working in the same level, so it will lead to more. And there's a concept here. So when you speak about the vasoconstriction in LA and we speak about the TCA, it will act leading to more epinephrine, and you're giving your patient epinephrine in the freezing, so you will have more possible accumulation of epinephrine with leading to tachycardia, hypertension. Use epinephrine cautiously with hemodynamic monitoring. Like hemodynamic monitoring, like when your patient comes to your office, you measure blood pressure pre-operative, and after you give him freezing, you measure the blood pressure 5 minutes later. So the vasoconstriction interaction with tricyclic antidepressant and SNRI is leading to the same categories in the same family, all of them. But as we said, amitriptyline and TCA is the most common to have a drug interaction, and if this drug interaction is very serious, as we go down, it leads to less, because as we mentioned in this picture, it has more selectivity blocking the receptors. Okay, so the possible outcome would be increased blood pressure due to epinephrine. I hope this was clear for you. And then question from prosthesis. Functional cusp beveling is done too. So what this mean? This mean like when we are going to design our preparation, is speak about functional cusp beveling. So what's functional cusp beveling, and we are doing it to do what? So it leads to increased retention and strength of restoration, allow for occlusion harmonization, directing force vertically down long axis, improve structural durability. So let's exclude some. Allow for occlusion harmonization. This is not speaking about one crown, it's speaking about arch. So I think this is not making no sense. Increase retention and strength of the restoration. Strength maybe, okay, but retention, it has nothing to do with retention, because when you do functional cusp beveling, you decrease the height, and retention is coming merely from the increased height. So as you have long crown, it will give you more retention. As you have shorter crown, it will give you less retention. And then directing the force vertically down the long axis. This has nothing to do with functional cusp beveling or fixed restoration. This has to do with removable partial denture when you have the component of the clasp and other component. I don't want to waste your time here, but this other component direct the cruiser force vertically down to long axis, and this is important because if the forces is coming like in not in parallel pattern to the line long axis, it will lead to destructive forces over the abutment teeth. Anyway, so let's speak about the functional cusp bevel here. So functional cusp bevel is an integral part of the occlusal reduction, meaning like think about it this way. So for the functional cusp, like we have the functional cusp and lower and functional cusp upper. If you do it this way, functional cusp is receiving more force as it's hitting up along the functional cusp from the other side. So in this area, you think about it, it's a thin porcelain or thin material. So they tend to see, okay, let's do functional cusp beveling here, leading to more thickness of material. When you have more thickness, leading to more strength, which lead to less chances of crown to be broken here. So this is the correct way we do it, and this is the incorrect way. And you see this one is a little exaggerated because like he's making sharp line angle going up, which is not correct at all. But like he wants you to see the difference here in thickness and here in thickness. But for sure we removed some of our sound tooth structure, but for a good reason. We need more thickness here because if it's thin, it will broken anyway. So functional cusp bevel is provided in the functional cusp area, which in deep contact of occlusion to increase the thickness of the restoration in occluso-axial direction. The functional cusp is reduced more than non-functional cusp for 0.5 millimeter. Functional cusp bevel in mandible molars will be in the buccal side, and maxillary molars will be in the palatal side. I think you know that because like functional cusp in the lower one is the buccal side, and in the upper one is the palatal side. So we do it 0.5 millimeter more than the reduction we do it in the other side. And here is a different picture getting from different angle to see the functional cusp bevel and how it works and why we do it. So I think now you can get the answer easily. So it used to increase, oh my goodness, I got it correct. Sorry, I should make this one. So this is not the correct answer. Correct answer, improve structural durability. And you can think this one, strength of restoration, is correct. Yes, but like it has nothing to do with retention. Increasing the retention, it will decrease the retention. As you see, we are moving from the vertical dimension of our crown. So when you remove, when you get less, meaning it will has less retention. So this part is not correct. So you might say, okay, this part, even it tricked me while I was doing the presentation. It will lead to increased strength, correct, but it will lead decreased retention. So this part is not correct. So we cannot conclude this is the correct answer. Don't be fooled like me. It's improve structure durability. I will fix it, okay? Last question from X-ray. If the target to object distance is doubled, exposure time should be. And this is speaking about simple physics and how we deal with it. And then he said double, triple, quadruple, increase 10 times. Let's first speak about this one, target object distance, and what does this mean and how we can calculate this one. So it happened to follow inverse square law. This inverse square law states that the intensity of radiation varies inversely as the square of the distance from its source. Meaning, like if you increase the distance from the target to the source double, so you should increase it 4 times as its inverse. It's going to like more. It's not like we increase it one, no, we increase it double. So inverse square law as written at this way. And bottom line for you here, when we increase it 1 centimeter, so we are going to increase it 2 centimeters at the other side. Like I giving you numbers. If we are going to increase it 2 centimeters, so 2, so it will be 4. If we increase it 4, so it will not be 8. So we go to 16. So as we said, it's not directly proportion. It's inverse square law. It's going to be the other way. It will going to be more. We're going to do the square of the number from the distance from the source to the target. And here the conclusion. And here the visual for this one. So D is a distance. If we make it 2D, so this one will be correct as you got it 4D. Why are we doing this? The strength of X-ray beam is inversely proportional to the square of the distance, not the distance, a square of distance from the source. And this one is beneficial for our safety as a health worker when we're doing X-ray for our patient. Standing back by double the distance from the source to the radiation is D. You radiologist or radiographer or the dentist in our condition. Okay, and here the answer will be, I hope it's correct now, quadruple. Okay, and that was it for the today newsletter. I meant it to be short question, not very long, not clinical question, because I received more than one feedback like it's a very long question. We don't see this long question in exams. Correct, you might be faced with short question, long question. You should be ready. Short question, you tend to think, oh, it's easier. It's easier if you know the concept. If you don't know function cusp bevel, if you don't know cyalometaplasia, if you don't know about omeprazole, if you don't know the name in the question, it will be very hard for you to get the conclusion and get to the correct answer. I hope that will be beneficial for you. Feel free to send me your feedback, write a comment, or share it with your friends going to the exam. With that being said, that's all today, and see you next week. Have a good day.